Hello, everyone. Welcome to AMC Technology's DaVinci Deep Dive webinar series. Today, we will focus on contact center integration for Zendesk. My name is Lorelea Moore, and I lead our partner engagement activities here at AMC. Today's session is the fifth and final webinar in this series and will be available for playback afterwards. If you happen to miss the first four in our series, please check them out on our YouTube channel by searching DaVinci Deep Dive. Today's session is going to have questions at the end, so please feel free to submit any questions you have online, and we'll cover them at the end of the session with a brief Q&A. Today's presenter is Shariq Qureshi, our own solution specialist engineer for Zendesk. I've had the pleasure of working very closely with Shariq, as well as the AMC development team that built out our DaVinci integration for Zendesk, so I'm sure you'll be excited to see what he's going to be sharing today. And with that, I'll turn it over to you, Shariq.
Thanks, Lorelea. Hi, everyone. I'm Shariq Qureshi. I'm a solutions engineer at AMC Technology, and I would be the one driving the demo today. The basic agenda of the demo covers AMC Technology Solution Overview, Zendesk CTI solution using Twilio Flex, and discussion about consideration to be made while migrating to cloud. And followed by questions and answers at the end. AMC Technology Overview. First thing I would like to start is who we are. As AMC Technology, we are here for almost quarter of a century. We started in 1995 in Richmond, Virginia. We built out our first CIC, Customer Interaction Center for SAP, that was OEM'd later. We have immense experience working with contact center solutions and environments that are deployed globally. Our team work very closely. Both our dev and support team are located at our home office in Richmond. AMC Technology offers solutions for all the contact center platforms, regardless of the business size. We are here in lockstep with our customers with respect to technology and solutions. We went through our Zendesk partnership, and here I am with you presenting Zendesk CTI solution that provides embedded UI experience for handling voice and digital channels. So what AMC offers? CRM integration is about creating pre-built applications, or I would say AMC has pre-built app for cloud communication platforms like Twilio Flex, Amazon Connect, and major CRM applications like Zendesk, Salesforce, Dynamics, SAP C4C, and ServiceNow, and the list goes on. This is for the embedded agent experience, and this is the USP of the AMC solution that integrates with the CRM integration through DaVinci. Implementation and development services with respect to pre-built plugins is one of the add-ons as well. Like, a customer can go ahead and take our application and the APIs and kind of build on top of it, or they can just use AMC as part of our managed services, and we can do the work for them, and so as the third-party vendors as well. So it is pretty much an open API service that all the three parties can come together or independently and work on the services portion as well. Migrating path for premise-based telephony is one of the key topics, and definitely I would cover this in the future slides, but I just wanted to speak about a little bit with respect to our integration, because this is like the biggest thing, where if a customer is having a premise-based telephony environment, then that thing goes on in customers' mind, like, how do I migrate from premise to cloud? So in this case, we have created a hybrid model where basically your telephony system is still premise-based, and we would tie to the DaVinci cloud-based platform as well. So this is something that we are going to go and in more details in our future slides as well. Managed services, definitely AMC is here for you to ensure that you are successful, and so that's the reason we have came up with managed services, to ensure that that all the development effort as well as the customization, AMC is there, so that we can solve the problems. AMC, what AMC solves? Problems. Yeah, you heard it right. Agent infrastructure is one of the biggest topic in the contact center. Like, oh, I have an aging infrastructure. Like if I talk to a supervisor or a contact center director or a VP, he have always something in his mind when he wants to, like, okay, I have to increase the agent count, but at the same time, I have this infrastructure at the back of my mind. Oh, okay, I don't want to add more infrastructure that would add other factors into the environment, and that is where the AMC is going to solve your problem with respect to creating a cloud-based contact center solution, and also from the AMC premise to cloud migration, like define that paths that would help the customers to basically migrate from cloud to from premise to cloud. And one other thing that I wanted to talk about was, like, as soon as a call gets delivered to an agent, the management, the contact center management, or even the agent want to make sure that they talk to the customer as soon as possible, and that is what it provides the best CX experience for that agent with respect to getting connected to the agent as like the customer as soon as possible. In addition to that, we have the Twilio Flex and AMC CRM integration, which provides a single pane of glass to our agents and as well as customers for a better experience. And actually, this is what the need of the call center is at present. Like, what, with respect to this integration, the agents can give a seamless experience of what they have used in a premise-based environment, and now they are moving to a cloud, so the agent should not see much difference. Okay, there is a little bit of difference with respect to UI, but there is a seamless connectivity between these two applications, both premise and cloud. And one of the point was about the CRM integration. I know it is a little bit frustrating, like, if I have a voice call that is coming in for a customer, and then I want to make sure that there is SMS going around, then it creates a little bit of frustration. Oh, okay, how do I handle these multiple channels? How do I handle this multi or omni-channel environment? And that's what AMC solves. That you can use our premise-based and then go into digital world with respect to SMS and web chat, basically, and deliver those interactions to the customer as well. And one of the other point that I wanted to emphasize is about customer satisfaction. With respect to customer satisfaction, we have like the best customer satisfaction, where with respect to both agents and customers, they are always with respect to, okay, we have the best mechanism in place and best processes in place that makes our customers successful, and that comes down to, like, customer satisfaction as well. And agent attrition is one of the other point that I wanted to emphasize with respect to the agents want to get the job done efficiently and with less time, and that causes the attrition cost, like, because as I said to my first point, that aging infrastructure, contact center director want to basically reduce the time, so that the agent should not wait in the queue. Agent should not basically, I mean, agent should be productive at the same time they can do the job well. So that comes down to this attrition as well. So these are all the stuff that AMC solve, plus a couple of other things as well. Like, when we are in an environment, then we basically own that environment, and that becomes that AMC's to go thing, and then and AMC's focus is to make sure that the customer is successful. That's drive the USP for AMC. So AMC Solutions. AMC provides basically two solutions: DaVinci Cloud Contact Center Solution and Picasso Premise-Based Contact Center Solution. So with respect to key features on DaVinci, we have the cloud-based solution. As I said, like, it is a cloud-based environment. It is a pure cloud environment that can be deployed, and it is an instant deployment. Plus it supports any size contact center. So these are the key features, but in addition to that, we have the communication platform on one side with respect to Twilio Flex that we're going to see today, and then Nextmo, Amazon Connect, Ring Central, and so on and so forth. Like the list is huge, it's humongous. In addition to that, we have the CRM platforms where we have the ServiceNow, Salesforce, Dynamics, and so on. And definitely, this is something that we are going to go in more detail when in our next slide when we go through the architecture. But these are the key features and communication with respect to communication platform and CRM that AMC solution offers to our customers. In addition to that, we have our Picasso, which is a premise-based contact solution, which has been deployed globally. We have support for humongous amount of like call data coming in with respect to any size contact center, and then we have the premise-based communication platforms like Cisco, Aspects, and Avayas on one side, and then again we have the CRM platforms available as well with respect to that sort of integration uh, that creates an environment where all the interactions are being driven through the AMC Picasso contact center solution. And AMC architecture. So in the center, you can see AMC DaVinci Creator Studio, which is where our heart is basically. This is where the interaction will happen. This is where the modules will be located, and at the same time, as we have discussed in our previous slides, we have the CRMs on the right side, and also we do have our communication platforms on the right side, on the left side, sorry. And so I'll go into this approach first, and definitely then I'm going to talk about the hybrid approach. So with DaVinci Creator Studio on the CRM side, we have the DaVinci app, for example, Zendesk, that is tied directly to the Creator Studio, and we will see this in action definitely in our demo when we go through into the presentation. But from the architecture perspective, Creator Studio holds everything together, be it CRM, be it the communication platforms. Now, with respect to the on-premise Picasso app, we do have, like as I said, like Avaya for Cisco and Aspect. These apps, like if a customer wants to basically move from their existing premise-based solution to the cloud, but they are not ready yet. They have certain environmental things that are going on. They want to figure out, okay, I have this certain business requirements that I want to accomplish, and that sort of things. This is where this is really handy. Okay, you're not ready yet, but what we can do is we can go ahead and hook you onto a Picasso app for your premise base that would be directly tied to the DaVinci Creator Studio. And in addition to that, we can use our CRMs, like if, for C4C or Zendesk, for example, and then we can have this hybrid model created for you guys for to work with, and that way you have this hybrid model going on, and then whenever you are ready to get the communication channels to make it a pure cloud environment, then that is ready for you guys to proceed. Twilio Flex. Twilio Flex is a programmable contact center solution. Basically, Twilio Flex allows us to move beyond their existing API implementations towards a more programmable app model that provides the full omnichannel capabilities. Basically, here, basically, when we used to, and going back to the premise-based telephony, we were talking about, okay, we have to have like the scripts that are written in the IVR, and then we have to execute those scripts. Considering that background, what we have done is or actually Chile has done is with respect to the integration, which is deployed like SaaS, but it is not a SaaS implementation. It is acting as like a build and a buy model. Tulio can basically, you can buy it just off the shelf. You'll get the inbound calls, outbound call, and basic channels with respect to like multi-channel approach, SMS, voice, Facebook messaging, and all that sort of things. Plus, in addition to that, each layer of Twilio Flex, and definitely this is something that we will go in more depth with respect to the layered architecture of Twilio Flex, where each layer is customizable. You can go ahead and customize those layers totally using JavaScript, using React. Basically, it is all React programming, and it is done, and that way you can build your own plugins and then upload that plugins into a Twilio environment, and then that becomes your build environment. So you are just moving away from the out of the box Twilio environment and just creating that your own build environment, basically like premise environment. But the point is, like, we are just moving away from that infrastructure, as we discussed earlier. So this is where we are with respect to the architecture of how Twilio is built. And basically, right from the UI level layer to the routing, the workflows, and the channels, with Twilio Flex application platform approach, you can change any feature at any layer of the stack. So if I want to have the customization done, for example, on the UI layer, then I have all the React component that are running, and then I can use those component and give the best UI mockup, and then use that mockup for a Twilio CRM integration, for example, and that will give us the best user experience with respect to the UI. But at the same time, there are so many things that are going on, like with respect to routing, the workflows, and the channels. And so each layer is give us the that customization. With respect to UI, it gives us the endless UI customization. You can control your calls routing programmatically from the routing or the toss router, and then you can write workflows basically into the studio communication flow using Node.js based serverless environment. So when I say it's a Node.js based serverless environment, it means like, there workflows are written in Studio, in Twilio Flex, and in Studio, and basically it is like a set of widgets that you can put together on a visual editor, and then basically write functions that can use that can be used within that workflow and trigger certain routing capabilities, like routing to an maybe English or Spanish agent, routing to any, like, if I want to talk to like a supervisor line instead of just the agent line, then yeah, that can be created. So that gives us the endless customization with respect to creating that routing pattern as well. And now finally, the channels like voice, Facebook messaging, SMS, web chat. So these are all the channels, and the list is ever growing. That that the channels, and as we all know, that today's world is all about communication, whether it is a phone communication, whether it is SMS communication, whether it is maybe chat communication. The best way to articulate the information to the agent, from agent to the customer, that is what the contact center needs at this point. And this is exactly what Twilio has done with respect to channels. It has the list, as I said, is huge. Like, based on these kind of channels, they can deploy a workflow, then go to the routing, and then UI. So it is a stacked approach which works like wonders. So going into today's demonstration, we have the contact center creation with AMC Creator Studio, AMC Zendesk CTI solution with embedded UI. So we are going to first take a look at the demo. Going to demo, we'll see the personas, like what is an contact center admin persona, and in addition to that, we'll have to take a look at also at the support specialist or service specialist, who are going to handle the case, or who are going to handle the tickets. And definitely we have a customer, as Lorelea, she volunteered to call in as Eddie Parker, so Eddie Baker, sorry. So she will go ahead and simulate a call for us. So I'm gonna go into my demo in a second here. So recollecting the information that we have seen so far with respect to DaVinci Creator Studio, we talked about hybrid approach, we talked about pure DaVinci, we talked about having apps for each communication platform so as the CRM platform. So we'll go into that, and the screen that you see right now is basically about like the home screen, where basically we get like share certain videos, like how to configure DaVinci, and it is as just plug and play. It's just so simple to implement this DaVinci Creator Studio and a DaVinci Agent. So I'm sorry, I was not sharing my screen for a second, but yeah, I got it to the screen. So yeah, so we are at the home screen with the DaVinci Creator Studio, and as I was going through that with respect to the home screen, we share certain resources that shows us like how simple it is to configure DaVinci Creator Studio, and then we'll go through the apps. And so as I was talking about, Twilio Flex as a communication platform and Zendesk as a CRM platform, and then it comes together into a creative studio model. This is what exactly that is articulated to. When you look at when you had a look at the architecture, we saw that creative studio is as I said, it is the heart, and then we have the communication platform and Zendesk being uh, integrated to it. So what I have done is I have created a Twilio Flex environment, or I have installed a Twilio Flex app. So as I have installed a Zendesk app, which is our CRM application for a demo today. And there are other apps as well that we are developing continuously. And we, as I said, like we have an Amazon Connect app, and have a C4C, ServiceNow, and Skype for Business. So the list is huge. In addition to that, as I said, that like going through the Picasso, um, or creating a hybrid model, we do have app available for Aspect, Avaya, and Cisco. In addition to also that, we can also, like, if you are working, like, okay, I do not have a telephony in place, but or I do not have a connector in place for the communication platform, then I'll go ahead and just plug in my call simulator here, where I can just use the call simulator and just see the behavior, just see the beauty of this application and how the calls are being rendered to the agent. So that gives us a little bit more flexibility, and just to give us our starting point. And one other thing that I wanted to discuss about within the creator studio is, you might have this question. Oh, okay, creator studio is one entity, or is an environment which is being a pure cloud environment, and Twilio is another cloud environment. Then how they are talking to one another? And this is the answer to that question with respect to the SSO sign up, where what we have done is we have, like, within the Twilio console or within the Twilio environment that we are working on, we have the IDPs, which is the identity providers, and we have used the same IDPs that Twilio is using. In addition to that, we create a cert value within the SSO for the Flex environment, and then we use this Flex the cert value within the SSO for creating a single sign-on account, and that's how this integration happens. This is how this handshake happens between the Twilio environment and the DaVinci Creator Studio, and that creates that handshake between these two applications for a seamless integration of like delivering of the work items. So this is all about our Creator Studio. As I said, Creator Studio has installed and apps and the available apps, and definitely this is something that is our strength as well. So going back to the Zendesk screen, and I'm going to sign in as an administrator because it is one of my persona with respect to having an agent sign in. So just bear with me a second. I think Google did not remember my password for some reason. So let me copy that. So yeah, we are here on the Zendesk home screen, and this is the view that you are looking at is basically from the administrator perspective. The admin access with respect to like dashboard, explores, and the support. If these are the basic two tabs that appears for the admin to basically take a look at it. Okay, I have to basically talk about something with respect to my Zendesk environment itself, then I do have the Zendesk support. So as I have the Zendesk, the dashboard, and basically dashboard will talk about like, okay, I have these open tickets, I have these groups as well, and then in addition to that, I have the ticket stats. I have like the with respect to just from the dashboard, if I want to create a certain view that a particular agent wants you use, then basically they can use that specific view for their day-to-day activities, so that this is like a capability that an admin can create for the supervisors. So that's one thing that in addition to that, I just wanted to go into a little bit deep into the admin account and talk about the app for our DaVinci agent. And as you have seen, like from going back to and I refer back to the architecture diagram a couple of times in my presentation. And here when we looked at the Creator Studio, we had the Zendesk app, and during the with the Zendesk app, we did saw that there is a Twilio integration. So that is the communication platform, right? And now when we take a look at the CRM side, then we have to make sure that that is a connectivity to the to the Zendesk application. And this is what exactly it is, that we have created this container app within the Zendesk application, and then we are going to upload that app inside it with respect to like install app, and then we can, once we have installed app, we'll basically configure those app and use those app inside our DaVinci application. And once we have those app, we'll have the manage functionality where you can like basically manage people or organization, brands, and as I was talking about the views as well. So that creates like a view for all of us with respect to this architecture, where we have this DaVinci Creator Studio as a center point with respect to everything that is revolving around that, with respect to both the communication platforms and the CRM application. So this is basically our admin for the Zendesk. Now I'm going to go ahead and log in as an agent, and I'm going to sign in as an agent here. And as I am signed in as an agent, that is an app for DaVinci, and you can see that I'm logged in as an agent here, and I do have the DaVinci app. So I'm going to go ahead and open my DaVinci app, and it will pop up for an iframe basically to tell me, okay, enter your username and password for the Creator Studio, and I'm gonna go ahead and enter those credentials, and obviously those credentials need to map to our DaVinci credentials, and then we'll go ahead and simulate a call. So once so this is like once I'm logged into a Zendesk application, I'll go ahead and log in to this agent, and I'm logging in, and you see I'm logged in right now with a Twilio um, communication platform that is running at the point. And now if you see, like, I've set myself as not ready, and as most of us are aware of this, that um, this is the best call center practice with respect to uh, having an agent setting to a not ready status. We don't want them to set to a ready status, because eventually a caller will come in, and they will not have any time to basically enter notes and that sort of thing. So basically this is what we follow with respect to the best call center practice, to set the agent to a not ready status as soon as they start the shifts. And so once I'm going to the work modes, I can change myself to ready. I can change to after call work mode. I can change to parked. Parked is basically about if they are doing some outbound dialer functionality, then they can use the park mode. I can go ahead and log out as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself to a ready status. And now what I have done for the demo purposes is that this is I've created a scenario where the customer is going to call, the customer, the system has already identified the customer earlier. They have called before, and they are calling in again for to reorder, to add a service. So I will request Lorelea to go ahead and simulate a call for me, and you will hear the prompt saying, "Welcome back. Eddie, if you would like to reorder your last purchase, say reorder or say agent to speak to a representative."
Agent.
Welcome back. Eddie, if you would like to reorder your last purchase, say reorder or say agent to speak to a representative.
Agent.
Let's type it. Took the right speech recognition. So I'm getting a call as an agent. As you see, Eddie Parker was able to recognize as Eddie already called, and thanks Lorelei for helping me out with that call. And as soon as the call came in, I got the call coming in with respect to accept, and I can reject the call with respect to the activities as well. So I'm going to go ahead and accept the call. And as soon as I accept the call, I will go. I have all the information in front of me, like, if I want to add an activity. Okay, I'm talking to Eddie, and then okay, then this need further follow up discussions on certain services. Then Eddie will reach out. Basically, Jim will reach out to Eddie, and they can reconnect, and then that will be a necessary follow up. So at this point, we need to schedule a follow-up call. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that activity, and you see that Jim Parker has scheduled a follow-up call. And I can go ahead and enter my own, like, schedule call at 10 a.m. Eastern time on 13th of April. So I'm going to go ahead and submit that. So these are the notes that are entered as well with respect to this particular ticket. Okay, that is one thing. And now what we have seen is, like, in addition to that, um, we can go ahead and create this as like a service request. So we can open an existing one, submit as pending, or submit as solved. But at this time, it is some service request that is available for us as in a pending state, because we want to work on it. And at the same time, Eddie Baker is gonna talk to us again with respect to this particular service request. Or this ticket. So I'm going to set it to pending, and boom, it goes, and then it says it's pending. Ticket has been updated. So this is like the best mechanism, I would say, for handling cases with respect to, or tickets with respect to, like, services. Because because this is where, like, in a contact center, we have huge or humongous requirements on, okay, we have these tickets, and we need a ticketing management software. And this is where the beauty of Zendesk is. Like, we have to have these entities coming in as ticket, and then whether it is a phone call, whether it is an SMS, whether it is chat, or a Facebook Messenger call, everything is powered at this point from Twilio. So with respect to getting the communication platform or communication flow being created. So I'm going to go ahead and end the call. And as soon as I end the call, I am back to a ready status. Now, now I have another scenario where, okay, I'm on a call, and now, but most, like, as we all have seen in, in the recent past, like, and this is something that I myself do a lot. That instead of calling, I just chat. It's just so simple. So what we do is basically, okay, we are set to a ready status, and then we'll just send a chat or an SMS and say, and as soon as I start my chat, I got a call. Okay, oh, great, we already have recognized Tim Clark, and he want to chat with us again. So I'm gonna go ahead and accept this interaction, and I'm gonna say hi. Something like that. Need to create a ticket for server down, service request or something. And so this communication happened back and forth within the DaVinci, Creator Studio, or the DaVinci Agent, basically, I would say. And then again, I have activities as well here with respect to follow up, say, next week, or sent an email, and then I'll go ahead and, okay, I'll go ahead and work with you. And meanwhile, I'm going to send you an email saying that, okay, I've worked with you, and this is the resolution for your problem, or we'll follow up on another email. So I'm going to send an email as well here. And again, it is the same interaction as we talked about, like having a voice, having a chat, or an SMS with respect to submit as new ticket, or an open or a pending and solved. So, and that is obviously available from us, from Zendesk. So I'm going to close this chat. I'm going to end this chat, and I'm switch back to the presentation. So what we have seen so far is that excuse me, contact center solution for the creator studio, and in addition to that, we have seen like an admin persona, plus a support specialist getting an inbound call, and also getting an SMS. And now I'm going to go move on to our next slide with respect to the Creator Studio. And as we have seen, for the Creator Studio, we have the DaVinci Creator Studio admin installed apps, as we have already gone through that. And then there is available apps. Definitely, I will be more than happy to work with you. In addition, if you have any questions, and more than happy to answer those questions, and also have that communication forward as well. And the second point that we discuss about the embedded UI experience. This is what the contact center want at this point, like with respect to the embedded UI experience. Like, contact. I mean, in past days, where we used to have like premise-based racks and premise-based telephony systems and all that, we have moved from a little bit from there and trying to move to the cloud with platforms like Twilio. We have created that space where we can use, or we can utilize those interactions, and at the same time with the applications like Zendesk and AMC Creator Studio, we can create the seamless UI agent experience for our customers, where okay, you can just go and plug into the menu bar, and then you can get the DaVinci agent, and then you can take the interaction from there, whether it is voice, whether it is chat, and as I said, like talking about the omni-channel or the omni-channel capabilities. This is a great topic, consideration while migrating to cloud communication platform. And I wanted to talk about this in more detail, considering the fact that there are a couple of things like with respect to the planning of the migration. In addition to that, we also need to execute that planning as well. So from the perspective of planning, I would say what happens here is that as I'm going back to my same example of creating or having that mindset of having a premise-based telephony environment, and where we have written huge IVR scripts, and we have set our agents for certain queue, the hunt group, agent group, pilot group, and all that sort of things, both for inbound and outbound channels. And now, with respect to moving to the cloud, the planning is that we should able to mimic the call flow that we were getting in the on the premise-based environment to our cloud environment. Can we do it? Yeah, yes, we can do it definitely with respect to the Twilio flow or the Twilio Studio flow, as we have seen in the demo as well. That you heard a prompt saying that that yes, welcome Eddie Parker, and you want to be handled for some services into our Zendesk CRM using the Creator Studio. So this is exactly the call flow that we want to implement, that we want to reduce the infrastructure, but at the same time we want to give the agents the embedded experience, the agent UI, the best experience both for our customers as well as for our agents, so that the agents are productive and our customers are successful. This is where we are with respect to that planning. In addition to that, as I said about the agent experience, having an embedded soft phone within the CRM application, it gives like more flexibility to the agent with respect to that agent productivity purposes. Like, okay, I have this embedded experience, and like, it can be single channel, it can be multiple channel, it can be blended mode. So that experience talks a lot with respect to, okay, I have like only voice channel. Now I have like multiple channels as well. I can handle voice, but at the same time I can go ahead and use, like, for example, Skype for Business for internal chat, being at the same time talking to a customer on a voice channel. So that gives us that experience, and that is what that planning need to do to happen. And then the premise configuration. Now, we all understand that the premise configuration, and with respect to reporting and all that, that need to be configured, that need to be handled. And for example, we take the OIS EMS and all that, and we pull those huge reports within the premise based telephony environment. We can mimic the same thing with respect to Twilio, with respect to workforce management, and then get those information into the DaVinci Creator Studio and DaVinci app or the DaVinci agent, so that the reporting become a very simple thing, not something like, okay, I have to pull a report, and then the supervisor have to spend time, and this is not the case. It would be pretty straightforward. So the points that we discussed with respect to call flow experience of an agent and premise configuration, this is talking about planning. How do we execute it? Okay, like adding digital channel to the premise voice is one of the solution, or one of the resolution to that planning, or taking that planning to the next level and talk about digital channels. Okay, we have the digital channels. We can use those digital channels like SMS and chat and all that, and so as we can use the premise voice at the same time. that gives us a little bit more flexibility, and then we can use these channels at the same time talking to the customers over a voice channel as well. The other point would be a limited pilot. We can create a focus group of agents that can use our this mechanism of, or this call flow agent experience, Twilio IVR, Twilio Flow, Twilio Studio Flow, Workforce, and all that within a small group, where we can accomplish all the core business requirements, and then go ahead and do a demo to our business. And I'm sure the business will love to see all this thing coming together and into one single UI. That would add a lot of benefit to the contact center with respect to productivity. Um, so we can, and then once we are all on the same page, then we can move to a wider audience. And that's the reason we have the limited pilot, thing available. Like, you can use it for a smaller group and then migrate it to a much bigger audience. By selecting this approach, basically going to the pure cloud contact center experience, transition over time, or adding digital channel to premise-based communication, AMC is positioned to help you to make that journey successful for customers, and by these approach that we have taken. So, to sum up, key takeaways. S- we have the Zendesk and the DaVinci agent experience. The demo that we saw was a DaVinci Pure Cloud, where it was Zendesk in the cloud, DaVinci in the cloud, Creative Studio, and obviously Twilio Flex. So that gives us the robust agent experience. In addition to that, we spoke about the hybrid model, where we can use the premise based and infrastructure and use that into the DaVinci application. And plus, AMC can assist you to implement your idle contact center. This is the final and the most important point, that we are here to help you to implement this contact center, and with respect to our support, with respect to our development as well. So going forward, yes, this is the solution and going. These are the like prime takeaways from this webinar. Questions?
Thank you, Shariq. I think that was very educational, and I know everyone's looking forward to getting involved and getting applications set up in Zendesk using our DaVinci Cloud solution. We've had several questions come in today. And the first one is, what is a typical timeline to configure and build out the contact center applications in the Creator Studio?
Thanks, Lorelea. It's a great question. Basically, as we have seen through the architecture diagram, it is like a plug and play. We have the communication platforms, as I said, and then we have the CRM application. And once the data is available, it is a pretty seamless configuration and seamless deployment, I would say, not for the contact center agents.
So the next one that came in, can I build my own apps to include in the Creator Studio? Can I build my own apps to include in the Creator Studio?
Thanks, Lorley. Yes, we can go ahead and implement those apps into the Creator Studio with respect to, like as AMC has the open API, then yes, it is a that you can go ahead and, or a customer can go ahead and build their own apps within the Creator Studio based on their communication platform requirements and CRM platform.
Okay, and here's another one. Can agents make outbound calls from the DaVinci toolbar?
Yes, they can make, and this functionality, as we have seen that, our driving force is Twilio and in the back end. So what happens is that for the outbound functionality, it can be achieved through a plugin that is available for Twilio Flex environment. And I'm sure that sometime this year they're going to go ahead and create an out of the box, outbound functionality. So yeah, that can be achieved.
Okay, we've got a few more in here. The next one, here we go. In the demo, you showed screen pop on a known customer. What would happen if the customer was not known?
So in that case, it will open up a new contact record or a blank contact record, and at the same time, it will search and open up a new one where you can go ahead and create basically a no matching scenario. So and then you can go ahead and enter the customer information, and that can be saved obviously. And then once the customer calls back in again, then it will pop up for that customer.
Okay, and while we're still having some questions come in, we do have some contact information for you on how to keep in touch and some reference URLs. So with that, Shariq, if you could move to that one, and then we can talk a little bit about ways that you can keep in touch with AMC. We have both a local and an 800 phone number. And we also have a sales contact email address where you can reach out to sales@amctechnology.com. And then obviously, if you come to our company website, we've got several reference materials there, but specifically to DaVinci as well as our Zendesk solution, we've got a couple of websites here. And then as I mentioned before, this webinar is going to be available to those that registered via playback. And if you're interested in the full series, you can go out to our YouTube channel, and if you search DaVinci Deep Dive, it'll pull up all of the webinars in that series. So the last question that came in, where can I get playbacks from the other webinars in this series? And I just mentioned the DaVinci Deep Dive webinar series playbacks are on our AMC YouTube channel. And if you search on DaVinci Deep Dive, it will pull those up. And you'll also have the added benefit of seeing a couple of other demo videos that we've posted out there as well. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining us today. As I mentioned, with this being the last in our webinar series, I'm hopeful that you will, keep in touch with us here at AMC. If you want to reach out to Shariq directly, his email address is in the webinar. So when you get the recording, you'll see that. You can also reach out to the sales desk at the website, at the email address you're seeing here. And as we come up with more webinars in a webinar series, we hope to see you back on those sessions as well.